In today's video, we will be covering how to submit a naturalized application step by step to become a British citizen. We'll explain the fees involved, what documents are required, and how to complete the online form with your personal details. Before we dwell into today's topic, a quick intro. I am Yash Dubal, Managing Director at AY in the Solicitors. We are an SRA regulated legal 500 firm with over a decade in UK immigration, winning multiple awards, serving 4,000 plus clients and having 1,200 positive reviews. We are here to help you. So first thing first, online application form, how to apply. You must apply by filling up this form online, and this can be done online or paper and sent to the home office via post. You can also have an immigration agent or legal representative to complete the form on your behalf, and today we'll be making an online application right now. So before you apply as a part of your naturalization application, you must provide certain documents including a life in the UK test certificate, 2 referees, proof of your knowledge of English language, and evidence of your indefinite leave to remain. Now we'll cover in this video later part how to do it. Now click apply now to start your application. Then after fill your location. To make a naturalized application, you must be in the UK. Register an email. Then after, please enter your email and a password that meets the necessary criteria. Now you will need to record this password safely as you will need it to re-access the form. A link will also be sent to your email which you will need to verify to submit your application. You don't need to complete the application at once. If you are inactive for more than 25 minutes, you will need to use the same link that was sent to your email address to access the application. If you don't receive a link, check your junk mail. If you are filling out the form yourself, you should state that the email address that belongs to the applicant. The section about immigration advisor, your immigration advisor can fill out this section if you have one. If you are completing the form by yourself, please select no. Check your answers correctly. Here you can review the start section answers to make sure that they are correct. Don't worry, you can come back and change this later if you are unsure. Then in this section it says applicants, please select no to completing the form for someone else. If you are doing it for your own application, if you are helping someone with their application, you can fill in the fields shown here. Your name, so enter your name as shown on your passport. Make sure to put your forename and surname in the correct boxes. If you have been known by any other name, for an example name prior marriage, then please use this page to enter that name. It's important to declare all previous names. Now this is contact email. The form will ask you to confirm the email address which you registered in your email. They will use this email address to contact you with information about the application and when your biometric residence permit will be delivered to yourself. Now here's the phone number. The form will ask you to enter your phone number into this section. UKVI, the home office may want to contact you, ask for the question about your application, so make sure it's the one that you use regularly. Now in this section it's about postal address. Please enter your address here. You may find, as in our video, that your address does not come up when you enter your postcode, but you can then enter it manually below as we just did. Now in this section write down your current address. If you have not lived at your current address more than 5 years, you must enter all of your previous addresses into this part of the form. You can choose to add more after completing one previous address. In our video we have said we lived at our current address for more than 5 years, and so we amended our answers by using the show and edit answer button. This makes it really easy to correct any mistakes you make whilst filling out this form. The next section is our citizenship ceremony. Once your application is approved, you will have to attend a citizenship ceremony. This part of the form lets you pick a location convenient to you. We have a separate video on citizenship if you would like to know more about this process. Then the next section is about the sex and relationship status. Please enter your sex as shown on your passport. Please also enter your relationship status here. There is a helpful link on the page itself that can guide you on what to enter if you are not sure. Then the next section is about your nationality, country, and the date of birth. Here you can fill out your nationality, country, and the date of birth as shown on your passport. Then the next section is about your passport details. Very self-explained. In this section, you should fill out your passport details. If you don't have your passport with you, for example, you may have an ongoing application with the Home Office, then you should select no. You can upload a copy of your passport to the portal later as a part of your application. It's important you double check the passport details. If the details are inserted incorrectly, you may have the problems at the biometric center, so always double check this detail. This is your identity card details. If you have an identity card, please use this section to enter your identity card details. Then after, about your other nationalities. If you have more than one nationality, you can use this section to complete your multiple nationalities detail. You will enter the same information as you did for your primary nationality. Then the next section is granted indefinite leave. In order to be granted naturalization, you must have been granted indefinite leave to remain. Now please use this section to enter the date you received your ILR, indefinite leave to remain. If you are unsure, it will be written on your BRP under the place and the date of issue. If you have been granted indefinite leave under the EU settlement scheme, please select yes. You will be required to provide your reference number. This is a 16-digit number that is at the right top of your settled status letter. Your national insurance number. Enter your national insurance number here if you have one. Now the next section is about life in the UK test. The life in the UK test will determine whether you have a sufficient knowledge of the UK culture in the eyes of the UK VI in order to settle here. You will have had to pass this test to acquire your ILR. You can enter the reference number here. The reference number can be found in your email. Now this is about your previous visa. You may have to prove your knowledge of English in a previous visa application, in which case you can select yes here. In our example, we said the applicant did not. Now the next section is knowledge of the English language. So if you applied for ILR using an English language qualification at level B1 and above, you can use the same qualification again for your naturalization application. In our example, we said no. So we entered that the applicant passed an approved English language test, and we will upload their certificate to the submission pack post submission. Now here you have to give details about parents. In this section, you can enter the names and the dates, towns and countries of birth of your parents. You must also state whether they have always had the same nationality. If you don't remember the date of birth, you can explain it under the further information. This will be shown later in the video. Now this section about conviction and other penalties. In this section, you should enter whether you have had any conviction or other penalties, whether in the UK or abroad. These include criminal convictions, penalty for driving offences, cautions or UK immigration civil penalties, amongst others. You must declare all convictions, even if you think it will negatively affect your application, as deception will be treated very harshly by the Home Office. In this section, it's other offences, so next few sections of the form are unlikely to be applicable to most applicants. They ask whether you have even been declared bankrupt or committed war crimes. If you have, then you must declare to the Home Office. Now, this is about your first referee. Just complete the details, self-explained. At this part of the form, you can enter the details of your referees. The requirements are set out on screen. You should have hopefully found your two referee before starting the form, but you can check to make sure they are eligible here. One referee must be a professional person like a teacher or dentist, and the other must be over the age of 25. One referee must be also a British citizen. Here we enter the first referee's name, sex, date of birth and address. If they have lived their address for less than 3 years, you should have entered the previous addresses into the form. Now the next is additional details for your first referee. In this section, your first referee contact details must be entered. At this point, we entered the professional referee's details, saying that he was a dentist. We also entered his passport number, as he is British, and how he knew the applicant. Now let's go to second referee. In this section, you must enter in details of your second referee, which is quite self-explained. Now the next section is about your biometric residence permit. Please enter in the details of your biometric residence permit here, including the place of issue, permit number, and the issue and the expiry dates. Now in this section is previous application. In this section, you should enter any previous UK immigration application you have made in the UK or entry clearance application from abroad. If you cannot recall or do not have records of your previous application, enter in the details as much as you can. You can make a note at the end of of the form stating that you no longer have records of your previous applications. Previous partners, if here you should enter whether you have previously been in marriage or civil partnership. If you select yes, you will be asked to enter your ex-partner's name, nationality, and the date of divorce. The next section is about children with previous partner. The form will ask if you have had any children with your previous partner. If yes, it will ask whether they live with you. The next section is about current employment. The form will ask if you are currently employed. If so, press yes and continue to the next section. This section is about your employer. So enter your job title, type of employment, name of your employer, employer's address, and the start date of your employment. You can also enter your tax office reference number here, although it's not mandatory to do so. Next section is about arrival in the UK. To meet the residence requirements of your naturalized application, you must have lived in the UK at least 3 years if you are married to a British citizen, or 5 years if you are not married to a British citizen. You must also have been in the UK 5 years back from the date of your application submission. This is very important, so please check your travel history carefully. You should also enter the port at which you first entered the UK. This will be on your vignette in your passport if you cannot recall. Now, details of your trips outside the UK, self-explained. You should enter all of your trips in the past 3 or 5 years depending on your circumstances. You don't have to mention trips of 2 days or less. You can use your passport stamps if you cannot recall the exact dates of your travel. Main home in the UK. So you should select yes here if you wish to continue living in the UK if your application is successful. Residence requirements. Here you should confirm that you meet the required residence requirements for your type of application. In addition to having to be in the UK on the first day of your 3 or 5 years qualifying period, you should also make sure you have not absence from the UK for more than 270 days in 3 years period and 450 days in the 5-year period. You should also confirm that you have not been in outside the UK more than 90 days in the previous 12 months. This section is about special circumstances. If you have not met the requirement to become a British citizen, here you can add why your application should be considered anyway. In this section, it's about other information. If you need to add extra information to your application, for example, you have had multiple employers, where you can add that additional information. Now, the next point is check your answers correctly. Check your answers carefully to make sure all the information entered is correct. It is very, very important. So please make sure double, triple check it. The next section is about documents. This page shows the mandatory documents to submit as a part of your application. They will vary depending on your personal circumstances, but they will always include your passport, current BRP, English language evidence, proof of living in the UK, and 2 referee declaration. The next is email verification. If you have not verified your email, you will be prompted to do so here. Date of application. Here you tick the box confirming that you understand how the Home Office will take into account your absence history with regards to your application. Next section is self-explanatory about declaration. You should confirm here that you declare that all of the information you are submitting as a part of the application is, to the best of your knowledge, is correct. Check your answers, and now you can go on to submit your application. You will be prompted to choose a service. At this moment in time, there is no priority service available for naturalized applications, and the only option is to pay the standard service fees, which is, as of now, at the time of recording this video, is £1,630, which includes the cost of your citizenship ceremony. The standard service is 6 months, but if your application is straightforward, you will receive a decision within 6 months. You will then be prompted to go to the payment site. Your answers will be locked in after selecting this option, so this is your final chance to check your answers. Now, next step is you have to upload your documents. Once the fees have been paid, you can create a UK VCAS account and book your biometric appointment. You must then upload all of your supporting documents. As mentioned previously, these documents will vary depending on the circumstances of your application, but are likely to include all of the pages of your current passport, your BRP, past and present, payslips and P60 from your employer if applicable, bank statements, language evidence, referee declaration, and the signed consent form. So in today's video, we have covered how to complete a naturalization application online. Can I ask you all a favor? If you enjoy this content, could you please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel? It helps us massively and I appreciate you all. Do you need help with your UK immigration matter? If yes, process, please complete a short inquiry form which you will find in the description section below now. Thank you for watching. Do you need help? If yes, contact us on this number which is on your screen, or fill a short inquiry form which is in the description section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell button for more content on life in the UK test.